In this demonstration of the hydrocell's steady-state performance, the pump is operating at 6 litres per minute at a pressure of 3 bar. On the screen, the red line represents motor speed, the green line the pressure, and the yellow line the fluid flow. You will see that the flow is directly proportional to the speed of the motor and remains constant. That's the steady state. These reference lines indicate the steady state upper and lower limits, set at plus or minus 1%, as indicated by the API675 standard. This test is particularly relevant to continuous metering, injection dosing, and mixing applications. Note how easily the steady-state flow of the hydrocell stays between these reference limits. For the first repeatability demonstration, we have chosen two flow rates, 5 litres per minute and 8 litres per minute, achieved by changing the motor from 250 RPM to 400 RPM and back in a 40-second repeat cycle. The system pressure on this occasion has been set to 3 bar. The red line is the motor speed, the green line is the pressure, and the yellow line represents the flow. The flow rate is increased from the initial 5 litres per minute to 8 litres per minute, and after 20 seconds, returned to the original setting of 5 litres per minute. This result easily meets the repeatability between fixed flow rates requirement of API675, always achieving an accuracy of better than plus or minus 3% of the pump's rated capacity. For the second repeatability demonstration, we have chosen 3 set motor speeds, 200 RPM, 300 RPM and 400 RPM, with preset rates of acceleration and deceleration achieved through the variable speed drive motor. This test is typical of applications with multiple flow requirements. The red line is the motor speed, the green line is the pressure, and the yellow line represents the flow. Note how the various speed changes control the flow directly. As the trace progresses, it plots the repeating cycle of 3 speed changes. The flow trace shows that the flow always returns to the steady state flow associated with a particular motor speed within the API 675 requirement of plus or minus 3%. The linearity performance of the hydrocell is demonstrated by this test, whereby the VSD motor is set to increase in speed in a linear fashion, with flow rate increasing from 1 litre per minute to 9 litres per minute. 1 litre per minute is achieved by a motor speed of 50 RPM. The API 675 requirement is that linearity should be maintained at plus or minus 3% of the designed flow rating of the pump. The red trace is the motor speed, and the yellow line represents the flow. Because the flow rate is directly proportional to the motor speed, the linearity of the hydrocell pump approaches plus or minus 3%, whether the motor is accelerating or decelerating, across the full turn-down range. This test demonstrates the hydrocell's ability to maintain constant flow under variable pressure conditions. Variable pressure conditions are created using a motorized pressure control valve. The red line is the motor speed, the green line is the pressure, and the yellow line represents the flow. Note that as the program cycles, the system pressure varies, yet the flow remains constant and steady, showing that the hydrocell's flow characteristics are virtually independent of system pressure.